All right, what up, YouTube? D Mills back in the house. Came back one more time, excuse me, to do a quick video. And that's what I just took out my mouth is the reason why I'm doing this video. So, and I'm going to tell you a little story for the backdrop of why I'm making this video for today. You know what I'm saying? So, I went to Aldi's, right? And I brought these cherries, right? Cherries from California, and it also says it in Spanish, but it doesn't have any more information on it. So I really don't know where these cherries came from. But the fact of the matter is that it said cherries from California. Now, and here's where the story comes into play. When I was in 2011, right? I went to California, Sacramento, California, in 2011, right? I had just finished a my what was it? Springtime. Yeah, I had one more. I had to go back to undergrad in order to take the prerequisites in order to get into the graduate program. I had just finished. I had one more semester to go before I entered the graduate program at Southern, right? Summer, well, late spring and summertime of 2011, right? I head to Sacramento, California. Ended up spending the summertime down there, right? And what caught my eye within this has been my effect on growing here in Alabama. Now, what happened was Sacramento, they it's the capital of California, right? So every major city, every city has, or every the large major city in the U.S. has like a capitol building, and somewhere around that capitol building, um, there's a Capitol Park, right? So Sacramento's version of it, right? Um, Going down the center of the park, it's like I will. Well, I mean, nothing is as big as New York's, um, but yeah, that would be like Capitol Park in Sacramento would be like um, Central Park is to New York City. You know what I'm saying? The park in the middle of Manhattan. That's rather big, you know what I'm saying, for city living compared to what's out, the capital cities in the country. But yeah, but in Sacramento, they had orange trees down the main walkway, right? They had orange trees lined up on both sides. So as you walking into the park, right, you coming into orange trees. Well, you're gonna walk through a little garden first before you hit the orange trees. They take you through a little garden area. It's a nice little setup in Sacramento. Um, it got a little more area depending on where you're standing, but I just say it's off to the right, behind the theater district. You know what I'm saying? When I'm saying theater, I mean like Broadway plays type theater things. I don't know. I forgot the name of the play that they were featuring down there at the time. Um, it wasn't Cats or anything like that. But anyway, on the other side of Capitol Park, where these orange trees line up on both sides, and mind you, like I said, if I can grow orange, okay, let me go back a little bit. If California can grow orange trees in the northern part of the state, which is Sacramento. Sacramento's it's about an hour outside. I don't know, within 2 hours of the Bay Area. I believe it's an hour, hour and a half. When I say the Bay Area, I'm talking about like San Francisco and Oakland, but it's more inland. You know what I'm saying? Sacramento, right? So on the other side of the park, right, in front of this statue that kind of resembled my mom's too. I looked up on the Capitol building because I felt like my mom's. This is just a true story. I felt like my mom's was holding me. You know what I'm saying? Um, and then I looked up at the statue on top of the Capitol building in Sacramento, and I'm like, yo, that could be my mother. You know what I'm saying? And then came to find out, like, yo, when I started researching who and what she was, I found out that that was Queen California. You know what I'm saying? Um, did a little bit more research, found out that I mean, I don't know how true it is, um, but Queen California is a true and living figure at one point in time. You know what I'm saying? And it's supposed to be a black woman. And there's also like a statue of um made by somebody European that came over on the boat. So when they went around, um, they didn't have the canal there in Panama, the Panama Canal. So there was no path cut through there yet. So they had to travel around Africa, whatever. So when they reached the California coastline, they came across this black queen. You know what I'm saying? And rumor has it, this is where they get Wonder Woman from. You know what I'm saying? The Amazons. This is where they get that storyline from. But anyway, on the other side of that park, right? This is what I'm getting to with the Cherries. There's a library across the street, and I'm gonna say to the left side. The theater section is on the right side. The library, I'm gonna say, is off to the left side. You know what I'm saying? And they have like a nice little courtyard out back, and in the back of that courtyard, there's a cherry tree. But it's not. It's hanging over into the courtyard of the library. But I forgot it's some type of state building down there. But anyway, talking about sustaining me for a whole summer. Um, yeah, for all my time in Sacramento, um, that cherry tree sustained me, literally. Like there were nights that I was hungry and didn't have a penny in my pocket. For some reason, I was walking past the Sacramento Library one night, right? I saw the gate to the courtyard open, so I was like, damn, I'm kind of hungry. So I walked through the gate. I'm like, well, the library is not open. I just hope I don't get into trouble. You know, I got hungry. I was grabbing cherries off the cherry tree that was hanging over from, there was a state building or a city building, like the Department of Water or something like that, or sewage or something, some type of, not a federal, if it wasn't a state building, it was a federal building. I believe it was a state building, like a department ran by the city of Sacramento. But anyway, them cherries were so good, and they were around this color. You know what I'm saying? The same color as all of these cherries in here. Um, Delicious. And when I had these, and the reason that's why I brought these cherries. Now also Sacramento is in the north part of California. In fact, it's almost, if you go east from Sacramento, you're running almost directly. If you hit the east coast from the west coast from Sacramento, you're talking about New York weather. You know what I'm saying? Or it should be. I mean, it's if you go east west. I got my pork chops, my smothered pork chops, been smothering for an hour, and I got white rice on the stove. So give me a second. Let me go turn that off. I'll be right back. Yeah, I have to turn the rice off. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make me a nice salad to go along with the smothered pork chops and this white rice that I made. But anyway, been talking for 10 minutes here. Um, but being in Sacramento that summer, right? I'm like, if number one, if orange trees, and I tried to have, the oranges, they were orange on the tree, so I thought they were. ripe. I mean, all of those trees were full, and this is Capitol Park in the middle of the city, or what they call the city in Sacramento. It's the smallest city. I believe Kevin Johnson, from the Phoenix Suns, was the mayor of of the city when I was there in 2011. I don't know if he had just gotten elected or he was elected. I think he was. Yeah, he definitely was by that time because yeah, I had to write a report on Starbucks and I included Kevin Johnson and Magic Johnson in my Starbucks report because they were the ones that kind of um, convinced Howard Schultz that you should put a Starbucks in black areas because if you want to go back to the beginning of Starbucks story, what I mean, the whole concept was made for affluent white men, and it wasn't necessarily, or the more to do men with to do personalities, so to speak, in an academic setting. So I think that's where Starbucks was started from, and that's why they created Starbucks. Now they got dark in here for some reason, and I'm not sure why. Maybe it's the sun, some clouds came over, maybe that's it. But yeah, Kevin Johnson and Magic Johnson, because Magic has Starbucks is out in Harlem. You know what I'm saying? On 125th Street, he brought the Starbucks. I believe those are Magic Johnson owned, along with the theater further down the road. You know what I mean? So yeah, Starbucks was one of the first ones, um, or well, Kevin Johnson was one of the first ones to convince, by doing a report about the success that those Starbucks had in the Sacramento area, had in, with the people in the neighborhood. And I believe it was a neighborhood that Kevin Johnson grew up in. You know what I mean? So I think he brought, he wanted to bring something like Starbucks there. And so, it helped convince Howard Schultz to go ahead and make that, that gamble. I mean, but realistically, after they did the study, there was no gamble. They already knew they was gonna make money in that area. But yeah. But anyway, back to what I was saying about talking about a lot about Sacramento. I told you I could talk for hours. But yeah, what I plan to do, just like I did with the orange trees, through my influence from being in California. Like I said, I was in the northern part of the state, and I know for sure at that time of the year, it was pretty cool up there. You know what I mean? But like down in Louisiana or here in Alabama, it was like 90 degrees. You know, shoot, 75 at nighttime. You know what I'm saying? But now in Sacramento, you had to wear like a sweater. It was breezy because it was next to the not Sacramento, that's San Francisco. But yeah, I guess it's because an hour from the coastline is still pretty close in proximity to where the ocean is. So I guess they still would get some type of ocean breeze. Coming from the Pacific Ocean. But yeah, that's my video for today. What I'm gonna do is the same thing I did with the orange trees, right? If these are the same cherries that or same strain or variety of cherry that I had when I was in Sacramento in the summer of 2011, oh man, I'll be extremely happy. And I know for sure, I'm hoping, like I said, they don't come from Southern California. I'm hoping they come from, um, somewhere up where, the Sacramento Bay Area is. Because, like I said, if they can grow up there, then I know for sure they can grow here in Alabama. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's my video for today. I don't know what's going on. My battery's low. Nah, my battery's not low. It got dark outside again. But yeah, um, this is gonna be my next thing. I came up on some cherries from Aldi's. You know what I'm saying? $3 to $4. I forgot how much I paid for it. But here's my next inspiration. This is as soon as I eat these. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take these seeds um, that I have, right? That's two right there. I'm gonna take these and I'm gonna grow these as fast as possible. And like I said, those orange trees didn't sprout until it was around July. So this is May. I'm gonna try to get these going as soon as possible. But that's my come up for today. Got a little bit of got YouTube happy today. This is my second video. Um, but yeah, I'm through. Thanks again for watching. Um, my next project is gonna be these cherries, these California cherries right here. I want to grow a tree just like the one that I that I hope tastes close to the one I had from from that tree in California behind the library. That sustained me for most of the summertime. But alright, that's my video for today. I promise you I'm done. Peace out, everybody. One.